And it looks like we are getting 2 new dark side KOTOR characters. I've got a lot of feelings about that, and I'll share them at the end of this video. But before we get into that, let's talk about who these 2 new units are going to be. I can only assume that this is going to be Marquee Heaven, and we have got Bastila Fallen. And we've also got Canderous Ordo, both from the KOTOR universe. So, let's talk about Bastila, and we'll talk about Canderous. Bastila Fallen is going to be dark side support, Old Republic, and Sith. Some interesting takeaways from this. First of all, she's got that Old Republic tag. This is the first dark side character we have that has that Old Republic tag. So very interesting there. And then also she does have the Sith tag. So she is going to have that immediate synergy with Traya, Nihilus Scion, that old Sith meta. So my first question immediately is she going to plug into a Traya team and have some kind of counter synergy with Revan so that we can have more of a resurgence of the Sith in the meta? I don't know. That's what I'm going to kind of want to look at here. But you'll notice here on this graphic the devs have, they actually leave Traya out of it. You've got the noticeable synergies that they're going to put in. And they actually suggest running her with a Palpatine lead, Count Dooku, all right, Darth Nihilus, and Darth Scion. And so I'm not able to test Bastila Fallen yet. I've got provided footage here. And actually, while I'm recording this, I haven't seen that footage yet. And so it really remains to be seen. Once I get my hands on her and I'm able to test her out, which is hopefully going to be soon, we'll see if this composition is going to be the best. I feel like we're going to want to plug her into a Traya team somehow, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is going to be the best place to see her. So let's talk about Bastila Fallen's kit. Are we going to call her BSF? That's probably going to be the acronym, right? So she is Sith Lord. She is Old Republican support. Strong Sith support who inflicts a large number of debuffs, including shock, stun, and corrupted battle meditation. So we're still paying homage to battle meditation, which is what Bast was known for. We're just going to call it corrupted battle meditation because this is the dark side version. All right, her basic, Sith Assault. Final text. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict ability block for 1 turn. So right away, very much like the original Bastila's kit, we're doing an ability block on our basic. This attack deals 10% more damage and has plus 10% critical chance for each active Sith ally. And this is also very much like Bastila, the light side version's basic ability. I mean, we've got, this is called Sith Assault, that one's called Jedi Assault, and that one's going to, it says this attack deals 20% more damage and has 20% more potency for each active Jedi ally on her light side version of the kit. Here it's going to be half that, and instead it's going to be 10% damage and 10% critical chance for each active Sith ally. Interesting. So this is one of the more unique scenarios I've seen where we're not just taking a character and giving a dark side version of them, but we're taking their kit and making their existing kit dark side. I wonder how much that will be the same in the next few abilities. All right, special number 1, Wild Lightning. This is a little bit different. Deal special damage to target enemy and shock them for 3 turns. If target ally had shock, deals bonus special damage to all other enemies. This bonus damage can't be countered. This attack can't be evaded. All right, special number 2, and also this is going to have some similar components to Bastila, the light side version's second special, but this one is called Fear, and look at the animation here, kind of similar, kind of different, and we're also going to have a stun component in here. Final text, stun target enemy for 1 turn with an 80% chance to stun another random enemy, can't be evaded. Love that. When each of these stuns expires, inflict offense down, defense down, evasion down, speed down, expose, and stagger for 2 turns. These effects can't be resisted. And so this just makes me think right away of all of those buffs that Bastila is able to give to your Jedi. When you, especially, when you give that to Grandmaster Yoda, you spread that around. This is going to be kind of like the same thing in reverse, where instead of giving all of those buffs, you're going to give all of these debuffs, and it has a chance to spread to the enemy team based on how many of these stuns are expired. And notice it's one of these stuns, so you have a chance for 2 of those. It's not going to apply to every single stun, so if you're running with Palpatine, all of those stuns that expire aren't going to apply to this. It's just going to be these particular stuns. So very interesting. And then Bastila has 2 unique abilities, and one of them is going to be a Zeta based on what I'm seeing here. Unique number 1, this is not a Zeta, is Corrupted Battle Meditation. At the start of Bastila's turn, all enemies lose 3% turn meter, doubled against non-Jedi and non-Sith. Interesting. And are inflicted with Corrupt Battle Meditation for 1 turn. So this is a unique buff. Then she recovers 1%, or 1 unique debuff, I should say. Then she recovers 1% protection for each debuff on enemies. And she has a lot of debuffs in her kit. Corrupted Battle Meditation is minus 30% critical hit chance, minus 30% counter chance, doubled against non-Jedi and non-Sith. And then her second unique, Sith Apprentice, is called, and this is a Zeta, is going to say, final text, Bastila and the character in the leader slot have plus 50% defense and tenacity and gain foresight for 1 turn at the start of the battle. If Bastila's leader is Sith, whenever an enemy is inflicted with Death Mark, that raised my eyebrows so high. That to me seems to imply that we're going to get another character with Death Mark, because I don't see synergy here with Death Trooper. So anyway, whenever an enemy is inflicted with Death Mark, marked, Revan, or Shock, they both gain 5% offense, stacking up to 100% for the rest of the battle. This ability does not apply to characters in the ally slot. Very, very interesting. I have a lot of questions about this because we got Death Mark and Marked called out here. That's basically calling out Death Trooper and Revan. But are we going to get new characters that can apply those debuffs? Remains to be seen. So, very interesting Bastilisk kit. I've got a lot of questions, but remains to be seen how this will play out and what the best synergies will be. Alright, moving on to Canderous Ordo, and I know this character, again, I've played KOTOR, it's been a long time. I remember really liking this dude. I know a lot of people are fans of Canderous Ordo. He's maybe not as super well known as others, but still a fan favorite for those who have been playing KOTOR, who have played it. And he is Dark Side, he's an attacker, Old Republic scoundrel. And so, I immediately wonder when I see Scoundrel, is this going to have synergy with the existing Scoundrels? Is this going to potentially be a Territory Wars defense character? Remains to be seen. Powerful attacker who can make short work of enemy tanks. Basic is Untitled Assault. Final text, deal physical damage and attack again. 2 attacks. Boom, boom, we're like Han Solo here. If the enemy had protection before this attack, Canderous attacks for a 3rd time and inflicts tenacity down for 2 turns. So this is one of those abilities you're not going to do at 1x speed, I think. Because everyone's going to have protection at the beginning of the battle. His basic is going to basically tap for 3 times, really help him make work of tanks. And look, in this animation here, they are showing that against Sith Trooper, and who does not hate burning through Sith Trooper? Oh my gosh. All right, special number 1, Overwhelming Firepower. This has a cooldown of 3. The final text reads, deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict offense down for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense. Very nice, and I like that offense down debuff, especially if you can land out on Jedi. That's nice, because Jedi hit so hard, especially Grandmaster Yoda. Unique number 1, Mandalorian Veteran. Final text, at the start of the battle, Canderous gains 10% health steal and potency for each Old Republican scoundrel ally. Whenever Canderous deals damage to an enemy, he inflicts a damage over time effect for 2 turns. Interesting. And then unique number 2. And notice, neither of these are marked as Zetas on the strategy guide. And so this might be the first Zeta list tune we've had in quite a while. It could just be that they're not marked, however. Unique number 2 is I Like a Challenge. Final text, Canderous deals 50% more damage with Untitled Assault and Overwhelming Firepower to enemies who are taunting Death Mark or marked. There is again Death Mark and Mark is going to be in there. And so that's interesting to have those particular debuffs called out. It makes me wonder if we're going to have a new character that can land a death mark other than Death Trooper. Whenever an enemy with a damage over time effect is damaged by an attack, Canderous gains 8% turn meter. And when an enemy gains taunt or becomes death marker marked, Canderous gains critical chance up or critical damage up for 2 turns. And then you can see here the synergies that they're recommending here. It's we want to see Darth Vader, Zalbar Mission, and General Kenobi with this guy. And so that to me does not look like a PvP team. This might be a raid team that we can utilize in maybe phase 2 of the Heroic Sith raid. Again, haven't been able to test it out yet, so it remains to be seen. Or maybe a territory war counter team or defensive team. I see it more of a counter team rather than a defensive team. Really remains to be seen. I'm anxious to test these guys out. All right, so what are some of your thoughts on the new Bastila Fallen and Canderous Ordo? Are you excited? I am apprehensive. I think this is really cool. I'm excited about these kits. I think that they look fun. I'm happy to see them added to the game. However, with the timing, we just had Revan hit the game. We're seeing now 2 Dark Side KOTOR characters. We had a set of 5 Light Side KOTOR characters, and then those are what you needed to get Jedi Revan. We've seen 2 Dark Side now, and it just makes me think, are we going to see 3 more? And if we complete a set, or at least 2 more, if we complete 4 or 5 of those, are they going to be needed to get the Sith version of Revan, Darth Revan? And I'm not super excited about that because we just had Jedi Revan hit the game, and move this quickly into a dark side version of Revan, to me, seems a bit fast, and I'm nervous that it would be the same kind of paywall that we saw with Jedi Revan. I really hope that's not what's happening. I think if it weren't for that fear, I'd be a lot more amped about this, but because of that, I'm thinking, oh no, is there a catch to these dark side KOTOR characters that are coming that are more likely than not going to be marquee? So those are some of my thoughts. Other than that, the kits look cool. I like the synergy. I especially like the kit design for Bastila. One thing, I think one of the criticisms I would say I have for Revan's kit is a lot of it just seems to be basically just picking pieces that are going to counter the existing meta, especially that bonus protection up. It's a direct counter to only 2 characters, Nest and Shreya, pretty much, which were a big part of the meta. This kit really seems to fit in with who Bastila was, and it takes who she was and applies that Fallen deal where she's now a Sith Lord. We've got a lot of those same elements of her kit in here, but just tweaked a little bit. I think that's really cool. Hats off to CG and the kit designers who came up with that idea, because I think that's really exciting. So, again, a little bit apprehensive because of what this could mean. I hope I'm wrong, and then I'll just be 100% excited about these 2 characters. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get these characters tested as soon as possible so we can see a little bit more on where they're going to be usable in the game. Thanks again for joining me for the video, my friends, and as always, my brothers, don't forget.
My dead body. Sorry about the mess.